Okay, I'm sorry about any YouTube listeners. I was interrupted and it was hard to think while I was speaking, and that caused some problems. What I was trying to say was that if the referee claims she didn't get the polygraph report, as she claims that my mom didn't take it, why did she go into this whole thing about polygraph reports aren't good as soon as she received the results that were good for my mom's polygraph test, showing that she didn't lie? Pretty strange. It seems like she's just playing around with people. I find that disconcerting, and, you know, if nothing else, the woman was completely disorganized. So, what I wanted to say also was with regards to Bill's character, to give you an idea of what kind of person he was that I remember from visits, I've watched films and stuff, so that might give you a better idea of what I mean. Anyone who's watched Dances with Wolves, the character Spivey was a lot like Bill. Very similar. Can't quite describe how. Bill was like a dangerous clown in everything he did. And he could switch personalities very quickly. When he wanted to impress somebody, he could become the handsome, charming, loving, adorable businessman who seemed organized and rational, and it happened very quickly. But at other times, he was like the Spivey in Dances with Wolves, a lot like Dr. Terminus and Pete's Dragon for a kids' film. Very similar to, there was a Voyager, Star Trek Voyager, where all of the people are put into a computer program in order to survive. They went into like a coma in the story to save their planet. And while they're there, there's the clown of fear that's scaring them to death. And the Voyager crew comes across them, and what happens is they end up in the fear simulation, and they can't leave because the clown threatens to scare everyone to death. And he does. He gives them heart attacks from fear if they try to leave. That clown in there is a lot like Bill. Other examples, I've seen the Twilight films. Number 1 with James, the tracker, the bad vampire that chases Bella everywhere. That was one that reminded me a lot of Bill, with the obsessive, crazy behavior. Another one, I think it was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, if I remember right. I've seen these things in movie theaters. In the graveyard, when Harry confronts Voldemort, the crazy kind of cat and mouse playing behavior, that's a lot of what I endured with Bill during visits. Behaviors like that, and it was very hard as a child to try to cope with that. So that gives people an idea of what kind of stuff I didn't like in Bill. Okay, as to my next topic, parents who get divorced, and often parents who are married, see their children in a really simplistic and primitive way, and it's wrong, and they don't deserve to have kids if they can't see their kids as more. Often parents seem to have this idea that I've observed over time, that their kids are carbon copies of themselves. In other words, the child is 50% of you and 50% of your partner. I'm not saying that's not true. Certainly our children come from us and they will be like us, but at the same time, we need to recognize something in our children in that they are individuals. While they may come from each parent and be a symbol of those parents and their unity, there's more to the child. They are not just your partner. They are the best parts of your partner and the best parts of yourself coming together to create a new individual person. It is a continuation of the evolution of human behavior and human history and human psychology. If we can't see our children as the next step in the evolutionary chain, as unique individuals who are not carbon copies of ourselves, but merely something that stems from us to create something new, then we do not deserve to have kids. If we can't see our children as more than ourselves. So yeah, our kids have the best of ourselves in them, but we need to recognize that they are more than just a carbon copy of your partner. My father, Bill Bailey, he sees me as that. It's pretty obvious. Just another copy of my mother. And the sad thing is, he's never going to figure out that the one he's hurting through all of this is me. I'm the one who's going to have to suffer through these consequences forever and ever and ever. and he thinks he's hitting my mom through me because I must be the most precious thing in the world to my mom, so therefore that must mean that if he hurts her, he's going to hurt, if he hurts me, then he can hurt her. Kind of like I'm as he refers to it, I'm the A-bomb in the court records. He keeps referring to me as the A-bomb. I think that's really psychotic, but that's how he